Imagine this. You go to work every day, but once you step inside, you forget who you are outside. And when you leave, you forget everything you did at work. Sounds like a dream. Or a nightmare. That's the world of Severance. In Season 2, the walls between work and life begin to crack. And the secrets behind Lumon Industries start to come out. What's really going on behind those white walls? Let's break down everything that happened in Severance Season 2. Episode by episode, Season 2 of Severance picks up right after the shocking Season 1 finale. Mark, Helly, and Irving have all woken up in their outside lives thanks to the overtime contingency, the risky hack that allows their inner selves to take control of their outie bodies. And what they discover shakes them to the core. Episode 1 starts with Mark in shock. As his innie, he's now in the outside world for the first time. And there she is, Miss Casey. Only outside of work, she's called Gemma. She's alive. His dead wife isn't dead. She's been working at Lumon all this time. Mark barely has time to process it before the hack is cut off. And he's pulled back to not knowing anything. But now, a seed of doubt has been planted in his outies' mind. Something doesn't feel right. Helly's situation is even worse. She wakes up in the middle of a big party. A celebration of her work at Lumon. Cameras flash. People cheer. Her father, the head of the company, is smiling beside her. But she doesn't feel proud. She feels trapped. Her innie never chose this. She sees the horror in how people worship Lumon without knowing the truth. She tries to speak out, and that's when they shut her down. Fast. Another Lumon cover-up begins. Irving, meanwhile, is in his apartment, alone, surrounded by cans of paint, strange maps, and old memories. He's been tracking something. Maybe the layout of Lumon. Maybe his own missing pieces. But when his innie wakes up, he remembers Bert. He remembers love. He rushes to find him, only to see Bert with someone else. Another life. Another heartbreak. Just like that, the hack ends. The overtime contingency fails. They're back in the dark. Episode 2 slows things down a bit, but adds more mystery. Mark starts having strange dreams. Memories of Gemma, flashes of Lumon, and odd symbols. His outie self feels like he's losing grip on what's real. He starts visiting Lumon's wellness centers more often, where Miss Casey, Gemma, leads. Calming sessions. The more time they spend together, the more familiar she seems. But she doesn't recognize him. Or does she? Helly is now under heavy watch. Her outie is being rewarded, given more access, more trust by the company. But her innie is suffering. They've added more corrections to her routine, more fake therapy, more control. Still, Helly doesn't give up. She starts leaving coded notes in hidden places, hoping someone, anyone, will find them. Irving becomes obsessed with the journal he found last season. The one filled with maps, notes, and names. He's convinced that everything connects. The goats, the paintings, the strange holes. He begins to believe that Lumon is hiding something much older and much bigger than just office control. He starts writing everything down, building a network of clues. Episode 3 introduces a new character, Ms. Weaver. She's high up at Lumon and speaks in that creepy, calm tone we've come to expect. But there's something different about her. She knows about the overtime hack, and she's not angry. She's curious. She invites Mark's outie to a private meeting. She hints at a higher purpose for Severance. She says things like, history is returning, and the walls are thinning. It's clear she's part of something more. At the same time, Petey's daughter June returns. She's not done looking for answers about her father's death. She starts reaching out to people who used to work at Lumon. Some are scared, some are angry. One man even says, "They erased my brother." June realizes that Severance isn't just a tech experiment. It's a cover-up for something terrible. By the end of episode 3, the team is starting to piece things together. The innie versions of Mark, Helly, and Irving are frustrated. They remember what they saw. They know the truth is out there, but Lumon is watching them more closely than ever. Cameras, new rules, and even more invasive wellness sessions make it harder to plan. Still, they find moments to speak in code, to trust each other. There's one scene where Dylan appears, just for a second. Is it a flashback? A memory? Dream? No one knows. But it gives hope. Maybe he's not gone. Maybe he knows more. And then the last shot of episode 3, a door. A new door in the basement of Lumon. Mark sees it open just a crack, and something is behind it. Not a person, not a room, something else, something strange. That's how the first part of Severance Season 2 unfolds. Full of tension, mystery, and emotion. The walls are closing in. The secrets are getting bigger. And for our team, escape might no longer be an option. Episode 4 starts with the mysterious door Mark saw in the basement. He tries to bring it up during a team meeting, but he's quickly shut down. Coble returns, this time with even more power. She's been promoted after her handling of the overtime incident. Her tone is colder. She uses soft words, but her eyes say something else. No more mistakes. At the same time, Helly finds a strange message in one of her work manuals. The pages have been tampered with. There's handwriting. In the margins, someone wrote, "The founder sleeps beneath." What does that mean? Is it about Keir Egan? Is he still alive? It sounds like nonsense, but everything at Lumon hides meaning. She tears the page out and keeps it hidden in her shoe. Meanwhile, Irving's investigation leads him to a part of the building no one talks about, a long hallway behind the archives. He walks through a maze of empty desks, strange sculptures, and finally reaches a black door with a golden knob. When he touches it, he hears a faint humming sound, like a song or a prayer. Before he can open it, Ms. Weaver appears, calm, watching. She says, "Some doors are for looking, not for entering." Then she smiles and walks away. Outside, June continues digging. She finds a former Lumon janitor who tells her about the cleansing, a time when many employees were let go after seeing too much. He warns her, Lumon doesn't just erase memories. Sometimes they erase people. He gives her a flash drive, says it has videos. She opens one. It shows a severed employee in a panic, screaming at a mirror, "I'm not me. I'm not me." Then the video cuts to static. Episode 5 returns to the MDR team. Tension is rising. They're watched constantly. New rules are introduced. No talking during breaks. No unscheduled bathroom visits. And a new device on their desks. A red button. No one knows what it does, but they're told to never touch it. Of course, Helly touches it the first chance she gets. The lights go out for a full minute. Emergency sirens. Then everything goes back to normal. No one mentions it, not even the higher-ups. But after that, Helly's wellness sessions change. She starts seeing flashes. Memories of her outie. She sees her father yelling. Hears voices saying, "You are the future." It's disturbing, but it also helps her remember who she is. Her two selves are beginning to connect. Mark and Casey, Gemma, begin to interact more. Even though she's supposed to be emotionless, she starts asking questions about him. Do you feel like you've met me before? She asks. Mark says yes. She says she dreams of a house with a red door and snow outside. It's the house they lived in when she was alive. Somehow, deep inside, part of her remembers. At the same time, Irving finally opens the golden door in the hallway. Inside, he finds a shrine, candles, portraits, a circle of chairs around a strange machine. It looks old, like a ritual device. On the wall, words are carved. He watches. He waits. Irving takes photos with a hidden camera. But the moment he leaves, security alarms go off. He barely escapes before the hallway seals itself shut. Episode 6 is a turning point. Lumon hosts a new event called The Unveiling. It's a celebration of something called the Legacy Project. Ms. Weaver announces that Lumon will be expanding Severance to the public. Not just workers, everyone, students, patients, even soldiers. It's sold as a way to end sufferings. You can leave pain behind, she says. You can choose who you want to be. But the team knows it's a lie. The MDR team uses the event as cover to access restricted files. Dylan, who everyone thought was gone, shows up in the security feed. He's alive, working in a separate department called Division 0. His eyes look empty, like he's been brainwashed. They try to send him a message. You're not alone. But before they can act, security storms in. Mark is pulled into a private room. There, he meets a man in a grey suit who introduces himself as the curator. He says he oversees the balance between innies and outies. Too much awareness is dangerous, he says. It breaks the system. He offers Mark a choice. Forget everything and get promoted, or remember it all, and face the consequences. Mark says nothing. The curator smiles. That is also a choice. Back at home, Mark's outie finally finds something. A broken photograph. It shows Gemma at Lumon. He has no memory of this. He starts questioning everything. He visits Petey's daughter and shares what he knows. Together, they come up with a plan to trigger another overtime hack. But this time, on a bigger scale. The whole department. The last scene of episode 6 is powerful. The team meets in secret and joins hands. Helly whispers, "This time, we don't just wake up, we fight." A computer screen flashes. OT overwrite, in progress. As Severance Season 2 moves deeper into its story, the mysteries grow, but so do the people at the center of it all. These characters are no longer just pawns in Lumon's twisted game. Each one has grown. Each one is changing. And now we start to see not just what they want, but why. Let's begin with Mark. In Season 1, Mark was lost. His outie was grieving Gemma's death, living in a daze, while his innie was stuck in a lifeless office, unaware of who he truly was. But Season 2 changes that. The moment his innie sees Gemma alive and working as Miss Casey, something inside him breaks open. He can't ignore the truth anymore. Mark's arc this season is about identity and purpose. At first, he follows others. He listens to Helly, Irving, even Coble. But when the truth hits, that his dead wife is somehow alive, he becomes the one who needs answers. His motivations shift from escape to understanding. He's no longer content just to get out of Lumon. He wants to know, what is this place? Why is Gemma here? Who is really behind it all? The deeper he goes, the more Mark realizes he can't separate his two selves anymore. His innie and outie are bleeding together. He starts having dreams. Vivid ones, where he walks through snow toward a house. Gemma's voice calling to him. These aren't just memories, they're feelings too. Emotion is leaking through the wall. Mark also begins to lead. Slowly, carefully. He becomes the quiet center of the group, not the loudest, but the one others turn to when things fall apart, and that's growth. From a lost man to a quiet force of resistance. Next is Helly. Helly started out as the rebel. In season 1, she was the one who screamed, fought, and tried to escape at all costs. But now, she's something more. In season 2, Helly transforms from a fighter into a leader. She's under enormous pressure. Her Audi is the daughter of Lumon's founder. She's being used as the public face of Severance. A living symbol that it's safe, and it works. But her innie knows the truth. It's a prison. And that makes her mission even harder. Every time she sees her Audi smiling in interviews, giving speeches about freedom, it feels like a betrayal. Still, Helly never gives up. She keeps pushing. She hides notes, codes, even manages to break into the company's secure messaging system. She's constantly one step ahead, clever and bold. But what makes her arc so powerful is the emotional weight behind her choices. Helly doesn't just want to escape. She wants to destroy the system. She wants to save others. She feels guilt. Deep guilt. For every new employee that gets severed. For every cheer her Audi gives on TV. For every lie she can't stop. But she channels that guilt into action. There's a quiet moment in episode 5, where she finds a mirror and stares at herself. The reflection isn't just one woman. It's two. The one inside, the one outside. She says, "We can't be this forever." And in that moment, she isn't just speaking to herself. She's speaking to all the other people Lumon is hurting. Now let's talk about Irving. Irving is the quiet soul of the group, the one who paints in silence, who recites the Lumon handbook like scripture, and who secretly longs for love. But season 2 reveals a man unraveling, a man searching. His Audi is obsessed with Lumon's map. He paints it every night, without knowing why. But his innie begins to suspect that there's something deeper going on. That maybe, somehow, he's remembering things he shouldn't. That the walls in his mind are crumbling. Irving's arc is about loss and obsession. After the heartbreak with Bert, he becomes driven. He must find out the truth. He starts connecting dots no one else sees. Patterns in the artwork, whispers in the hallways, even the way lights flicker in certain rooms. To others, he seems paranoid. But to Irving, this is the only way to hold on to meaning. In episode 4, there's a haunting moment when he visits a hidden archive and finds an old photo of himself in uniform. It's dated decades ago, too far back. He shouldn't be in it. He starts to ask, have I done this before? Have I been severed more than once? The idea terrifies him, but he can't stop looking. Irving's journey isn't just about exposing Lumon. It's about reclaiming his own timeline, piecing together his fragmented self. He wants to remember Bert, but more than that, he wants to know who he really is and how long he's been trapped in this nightmare. And finally we come to Dylan. Though Dylan has less screen time in season 2, his presence is felt everywhere. The guilt the team feels. It begins with him. He was the one who stayed behind during the first overtime hack. He bought them time and may have paid the price. But in episode 6, we see him again. Changed, controlled, working in a cold, white space called Division 0. He barely reacts when he sees Mark on a monitor. But later, when he's alone, he carves something into his desk. One word, free. Dylan's arc is a mystery. Is he still fully aware? Is he broken? Or is he pretending? Some fans believe he's running an inside operation. waiting for the right moment to act. Others think he's a victim, being used by Lumon for experiments. Either way, his silence speaks volumes. Dylan represents what happens when the system wins, and what it might cost to undo it. These four characters, Mark, Helly, Irving, and Dylan, aren't just players in a sci-fi mystery. They're people caught between two versions of themselves. Each one is breaking apart. Each one is waking up. And each one has a reason to fight. But as we'll see in the final section, this fight isn't just personal anymore. It's about something bigger, something ancient, dangerous, and possibly unstoppable. At its core, Severance isn't just a story about a creepy company or broken workers. It's a deep reflection on what makes us human, and Season 2 dives even deeper into that question, blending mystery, emotion, and philosophy in a way that leaves us shaken. One of the strongest themes this season is identity. Every character struggles with the question, who am I if half of me doesn't know the other half? The idea of self is split down the middle. The innie doesn't know the outie. The outie doesn't care about the innie. But over time, cracks form. Feelings leak through. Memories begin to return. The wall between their two worlds is no longer strong enough to hold them apart. This is especially true for Helly, who realizes her outie is being used to promote something evil, and for Mark, who sees Gemma, his wife, not as a memory, but as a person standing right in front of him, broken and unaware. These moments challenge everything we think we know about identity. Are we just a collection of memories, or something more? Another major theme is control. Lumon Industries is a machine built on control of people, of time, of truth. The company uses fake therapy, fake rewards, even fake holidays to keep workers calm. The Severance chip isn't just a memory wipe. It's a tool of power. Season 2 shows us that this control runs deeper than we thought, not just through office rules, but through family lines, old traditions, and something possibly even supernatural. There are strange hints in the show. Rooms with candles, ancient symbols, chants about the founder. We learn about the Legacy Project, a plan to bring Severance to the outside world, schools, hospitals, even armies. It's no longer about helping workers. It's about reshaping society. Lumon doesn't want to serve the world. It wants to run it. That brings us to the ending of Season 2. The final episode is a slow build of tension. The overtime contingency is triggered once again, but this time, the goal isn't just to wake up. It's to shut Lumon down from the inside. Mark, Helly, and Irving all play their parts. Helly breaks into a file room and discovers footage, hidden videos of severed children being trained to follow orders. She's horrified. She loads them onto a drive and prepares to expose Lumon to the world. Meanwhile, Mark finds Gemma in the wellness center. She's beginning to remember him. They speak for the first time, quietly, with tears in their eyes. "I knew you'd come," she whispers. Irving is in the ritual room he discovered earlier. He places a recording device inside the strange machine, hoping it will capture whatever ceremony Lumon plans next. Just as he's about to leave, the lights go red. Alarms sound. He's caught. But the real twist comes at the end. As Mark and Helly try to upload the footage, they're stopped by Ms. Weaver and Coble. But instead of fighting, Ms. Weaver lets them go. She says something strange. "You've already done what we needed." Then she walks away, smiling. It's chilling, as if the rebellion was part of the plan. The season ends with chaos. Files get leaked. The media begins to ask questions. Protesters gather outside Lumon's headquarters. But in the final scene, we see something truly disturbing. Mark's Audi is walking through a snowstorm toward his old house, the one he shared with Gemma. The door is open. He steps inside and finds a strange glowing symbol on the floor, the same one Irving saw in the shrine. He hears a voice behind him. It's Gemma, only this time she's different. Her eyes are glowing. She whispers, "He's waking up." Fade to black. So what does it all mean? Some fans believe that Lumon isn't just a tech company. It's part of an ancient cult. The rituals, the founder worship, the talk of he who waits, all point to something supernatural or spiritual hiding beneath the surface. The Severance chip might not be just science. It could be tied to something far older and more dangerous. Others think it's all symbolic, that he who waits is simply power, the faceless force that always tries to control us. That the show is asking, what are we willing to give up in the name of peace, comfort, or success? Our freedom, our memories, ourselves. As for what's next, the creators of Severance have hinted at a third season that goes even deeper. More backstory about Lumon, more secrets about the founder, and maybe the fall of the entire system. We may finally learn how many people have been severed, how long this has been happening, and what the real purpose of the Severance program is. Will Mark and Helly save Gemma? Will Irving find the truth? Will Dylan break free, or will Lumon win? One thing is clear. Severance isn't just science fiction. It's a mirror. It reflects our world, our jobs, our routines, our sense of self, and it asks a simple question. If you could leave your pain at the door, would you? And more importantly, what part of you would walk out the other side?